Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. In this video, we want to set the record straight on the claim that it was northern Nigeria that funded oil exploration in Niger Delta, and therefore that the region is a major stakeholder when it comes to oil revenue in Nigeria. That's what this video wants to correct and to show that it was not true. There was no element of truth that North contributed in any way to oil exploration in Niger Delta, and that the North was rich, because the story being told was that the eastern region said they don't have money for oil exploration, and North came to the rescue and provided money for the exploration. Some of the northern elites have even written it in books, and some of their best of professors have also followed that line, but it is not true, and that is what we're going to provide evidence in this video. So it's a historical facts that we want to share for the benefit of all and for the records. Now, before I go further on this, if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, Professor Ango Abdullahi, the convener of the Northern Elders Forum, had claimed that it was the Northern Regional Resources that financed oil exploration in the Niger Delta. Now, this issue came up again when a young PhD holder from the North was still doubling down, insisting that Ango Abdullahi was right, that after all, Ango is a professor, that Ango knows what he was talking about. But Ango's assertion and others like him were not backed by historical facts that we are going to share with you. This is important. This video, you have to share it widely to set the record straight. And I'm just making this video just for the record, because I know in years to come, this issue will continue to be an issue. And people that were fortunate to watch this video will have a big takeaway to defend the Niger Delta and oil producing communities in the Niger Delta, which included parts of Imo State and Abia State today. Now, the uncomfortable truth to those that peddle that historical lie is that when oil was discovered in commercial quantity in Oloibiri in 1956, Shell bore the financial burdens for the exploration. It was Shell that paid for the oil exploration. Other European and American companies later joined in oil exploration. It was not until 1973 that the federal government of Nigeria acquired 30% shares in oil companies. And you and I know that by 1973, Northern region does not exist anymore. So Northern region could not have made any investment in the oil companies. Also note that the colonial records show that the biggest motivation for amalgamating Northern and Southern Nigeria was because Northern Nigeria was not financially self-sustaining, and the British imperial government said it will not subsidize colonial administration anywhere in Africa. So Lord Lugard amalgamated the two regions and used the surplus from the south to subsidize the north and make the region sustainable. It is therefore illogical to say that a region that wasn't financially self-sustaining can finance oil exploration in the Niger Delta. Another proof that North played no role at all in oil exploration in Niger Delta was contained in an 89-page report for the British Parliament titled Amalgamation of Northern and Southern Nigeria and Administration 1912 to 1919, written by Frederick D. Lugard, where he clearly stated the two reasons that informed his proposal to amalgamate the North and the South. The two reasons were finance and railways. Finance and railways. Now, before I go to that finance and railways, let me tell you a little story. Now, the people that were peddling that the North was richer than South, that helped the oil exploration. They say if the North was not rich, why is it that Zeke and Ojukwu, that they lived in the North? In fact, Zeke himself was born in the North. He was born in Zungeru, present-day Niger State. So they use it as an example of how viable the North was, that Zeke and Chukwemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, that they lived in the North. But they didn't understand the context of Zeke being born in the North. The truth of the matter was that Zeke's father was a railway engineer that was employed by the railway companies, by the railway authority at that time. So his father was an engineer, a railway engineer, who was being transferred from one place to another. So it so happened that when the man was transferred, when the senior Zeke, Azikiwe, was transferred to Zungeru, the wife got pregnant and delivered Nnamdi Azikiwe. Okay, so you can see that what took Azikiwe's father to North was not that the North was bustling with riches. It was just that the British had created a railway company and they employed some people. And Ojukwu Zeke's father, that was why you can see from all the other our founding fathers, Zeke's father was the only educated one among them. Awolowo's father was not educated. Samadu Bello's father was not educated in the Western tradition. Zeke's father was. Okay? He was working with the railway. So Zeke was as a result of that, Zeke was born in Zungeru. And that was why, too, if you look at it, it was Zeke that, of all the nationalists we had, that was much more cosmopolitan, that sees Nigeria as one. Okay? Awolowo was more concerned, saying that he was Yoruba first before he became Nigerian. As Ahmadu Bello see himself from that same perspective when he was talking about Northernization. But Zeke was the one that wanted to see Nigeria from various perspectives, because his father was educated and was being moved around as a railway worker. And that exposed Zeke to many languages. He could speak Yoruba, he could speak Hausa. In fact, Zeke's father had to send him down to Onitsha because Zeke was growing up having difficulty in speaking his Igbo language. So his father sent him back to the east eventually. But that's to show you that just a snippet about Zeke. So because he was living in the north, part of his growing up was in the north, doesn't mean that north was viable. That was why. No, Zeke was the son of a railway worker, and the railway system, people were being transferred from time to time. Okay. You can see that eventually Zeke ended up in Lagos and all that. It's all part of his growing up and his father's job as a railway worker. And Ojukwu himself, Ojukwu was the son of a billionaire. His father was the richest man ever in Nigerian history, Sir Louis Ojukwu. When he secretly joined the army against his father's wish, Ojukwu was transferred to Kano. By the time the military coup happened in 1966, Ojukwu was a senior officer commanding a section of the Nigerian army in Kano. His being in Kano doesn't mean that Kano was richer or that Kano was a rich part of Nigeria. It was because it was job of a soldier. He was transferred to be in Kano. So somebody was looking at it and was telling me that if North was not viable, why was Zeke and the other people from Southeast living in the North at that time? So, but that's aside. But just to clarify, now, Sir Frederick Lugard said that the reason that informed his proposal to amalgamate the North and South was two: finance and railway. It was because of that railway issue that I brought in the story of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe's father. He wrote, this is what Frederick Lugard wrote on the reason for the amalgamation. He said, in 1906, a further step in amalgamation was effected in the South. Southern Nigeria and Lagos became one administration under the title of Colony and Protectorate of Southern Nigeria. From this date, the material prosperity of the South increased with astonishing rapidity. The labor duties increased 3 cents in 1901 to 3 cents and a half in 1905, stood at 5 pence and a half a gallon in 1912, and afforded an ever-increasing revenue without any diminution in the quantity imported. They yielded the sum of £1,000,000, £138,000, £1,138,000 in 1913. The North, largely dependent on the annual grant from the imperial government, was barely able to balance its budget with the most parsimonious economy, and was starved of the increasing staff and unable to find funds to house its officers properly. Its energies were concentrated upon the development of the native administration and the revenue resulting from direct taxation. Its distance from the coast, 250 miles, rendered the expansion of trade difficult. Thus, the anomaly was presented of a country with an aggregate revenue practically equal to its needs, but divided into two by an arbitrary line of latitude. One portion was dependent on a grant paid by the British taxpayer, which in the year before amalgamation stood at £136,000 and had averaged £314,500 for the 11 years ending March 1912. Again, a 1935 report by colonial government statistician S.M. Jacob, titled "The Taxation and Economics of Nigeria," gave a vivid account of the immense disparities in the revenues between the North and South. It shows, for instance, that one of the reasons that North was financially disadvantaged was that agricultural produce from the region has less economic value in the international market than agricultural produce from the South. It so happened that southern crops such as cocoa, palm oil, kernels, rubber had more economic value in the international market than northern cash crops such as granules and cotton. The North's crops didn't have any much economic value as the South's. Now, as George G. Frenis pointed out in his book, Oil in Nigeria, Conflict and litigation between oil companies and village communities, Shell spent more than £6 million of its own money between 1937 and 1953 before striking oil in Akata near Eket in present-day Akwa Ibom State in non-commercial quantities. After spending more millions of pounds, it found oil in commercial quantities in Oloibiri in 1956. Therefore, in summary, neither the Nigerian government nor the northern Nigerian government made any financial contribution to Shell's oil activities in Niger Delta. That is for the record. I don't know what to have to say about this. This vexed issue of North being the financier of oil exploration in Niger Delta. I hope this fact-checked report will lay that claim to rest. What is your position on this? And you can store this for historical purpose, because this issue will always come up from time to time, so that you can be able to marshal out some of these points that I have given out here to show that it is not true. There's no truth in the illogic that it was the North that funded oil exploration in Niger Delta. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.